they know their wildlife over there in Australia. Unbelievable. They have koala bears over there. They've so many of them. They've actually trained them to work in the cities. And get your guess, right? What job do you think koala bears do in Sydney at the moment? What job are they trained to do? Give me a guess. What's that?
To be bears.
To be bears. They're kind of, doesn't take much training, Tracy, to be honest. Given that it's already a bear, it really, unless you want to be a different kind, you're no koala, you're a grizzly, get out there, go on, get out there, koala. Give me another guess, what do they train them to do? Koala bears. Cuddle is glorious, what a beautiful idea. They train them to work as professional cuddles. That's a fabulous idea. All over Sydney, there'll just be podiums sitting there with a koala on it, and you can walk up and go, I'm a bit down at the moment. And the koala will go, come here, come here. All right, now you shouldn't have now. Thanks very much. Brilliant suggestion. Give me one more suggestion. As phone sex operators. They train the koalas to work as phone sex, not actually just as operators, not actually to do the thing, but to go, I'll put you through now. So, well, you sound like you need a bit of loving, do you? Well, there's a very strict woman on line 4. I'll give you that to her, right? Because koalas are very good at that kind of notion like that. Whereas it actually to talk to the customers, oh, do you want to see what I'm wearing? I'm all furry and exciting, right? I'm the furriest little koala you've ever seen. I'm slipping out of the fur at the moment. Look at that. Do you like that? That's kind of sick. That's weird. What they actually train, the job they actually train koala bears to do in Sydney is to work as bicycle locks. You take the koala, you put him in the frame of the bicycle, his little hands reach around through the spokes of the wheel, and then he just holds on to the bicycle like that. The finest answer I ever received, though, was in a university in Dublin, and I said, what job do they train them to do? And a student there went, is it guides for the blind? And I said, well, surely they'd use dogs for that. And she said, not for walking, for climbing. It's a glorious notion. The dog would walk the blind person to the foot of the tree, at which point control would be handed over to the koala bear, who would then walk the blind person up past difficult clumps of branches and whatnot, till they got to the top, where presumably it would then describe the view to the blind person. I recently got one of those virtual reality sets into the house, you know, with a mask and the whole... How many of you have done this yet? 1, 2, 7. It's amazing. It's genuinely stunning to me how few people have had a go on this, like whatever. It's genuinely stunning. You put the mask on your head, it's got 2 screens, independent screens, so therefore everywhere you move, it's like perfectly realistic. You put the headphones in, it's like completely immersive. You're in a 360-degree, in all direction, totally artificial world. It's genuinely stunning. I think it's going to change gaming. I think it's going to change movies. It is going to revolutionize burglary. It's just... You break into a house and somebody has that on their face, Jesus, relax, chill out, you've got an hour. They're not going to know you're there. There's no rush, you can choose what you want. I like that, but that'll work well in the hall. It's a different game, right? And the weird thing is, as you saw there, not everyone's having a go at this. This is a genuinely transformative entertainment technology, and not everyone is using VR, right? And one of the quiet reasons that no one's talking about it, the reason that people aren't using VR is because nobody's using it to watch porn. It seems like a weird thing to do, but in the kind of history of nerdy kind of things, porn is surprisingly important for getting new technology accepted. Porn is the reason why Blu-ray beat the other kind of special DVD in their race a few years ago. Porn is the reason that sometimes video streaming software beat other kinds of video streaming software. The stuff that gets used for porn has a place immediately in the market, right? And nobody is using VR for porn, right? And I'm not naive, right? I know that men are visual creatures, but I can kind of see You know, no man, while actually making love, has ever there been going, oh my God, this is incredible. Oh my God, honey, this is amazing. Oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Let me just have a quick look around the flat. Oh, that's fantastic, Jim. Oh, that's amazing. Jesus, huge. Is that corner singer original now, or did you have it on later? But the main reason that people aren't using VR for porn is because you cannot be entirely sure that she's out for the afternoon. And I mean 100% sure, because the stakes are really high. You do not look good in this situation. You do not need your loved one going, oh, I've left my credit card, I better go back in. What is this you're doing to yourself? Yes, I was bringing the kids to my mother's house, but the little one fell in, we've had to come home. But Jesus, this is what greets us. The nightmare is you finish the wank of the century, you take off the mask, and there are 3 police officers just staring at you. Going, do you have no idea what's been happening for the last while? Somebody broke into your house. They were spotted, we were called, there's been a standoff. You've been a hostage for 45 minutes. We've had to close off your road. Sky News have a helicopter slowly circling overhead. Your wife is outside on a megaphone going, stay strong, John, stay strong. And all the time we've been watching you on the thermal imaging, just battering away at yourself. You know, when you're in love with somebody, you rarely see them at work. You rarely see them doing the thing that they do and you can't. It's extremely attractive. Go follow your partner someday to work. If they're having an affair, it'll be a hideous conclusion. But just watch them doing the thing. It's really cool, because you can't do it, they can. You go, I fucking know, you're fantastic, you're glorious. Particularly when they're saving a life. Jesus, you're there going, oh, you're beautiful, I love you, and you're making me look good right now. Yeah, she's my girlfriend, look at her, she's glorious. Yeah. She's saving her life, trophy bird, right? I had to be peeled off the doctor the day of the mini stroke. Seriously, she was underneath me going, that's very flattering, but could I deal with the situation first, right? And I was behind her going, no, she'll be unconscious for a while, yes. Apologise, she's actually in the room tonight, sorry about that. But it is nothing more attractive than seeing the person. I mean, the doctor here, have you a partner there with you? Have you a boyfriend or husband with you?
Yeah, he's a teacher.
He's a teacher, so he's not in the medical trade. My teacher friend, isn't it sexy? Have you seen her ever deal with an emergency, have you?
Not yet.
Not yet, he said loudly. Get her to run over one of these feckers on the way home tonight. Dude, it's extremely attractive, but the one bad thing is you're very clannish people, the doctors. They have a tendency to hang around together in little groups, right? Okay. My teacher friend, do you have to go to loads of social events where it's just you and doctor? Does that happen to you, my friend, does it?
I hate it.
Yeah, I know, it's a nightmare. I hate it, he said. I am articulating your pain, my friend. He hates it, ladies and gentlemen, because there's times I've been at dinner parties and it's doctor, and I'm the only feckin' muggles in the room, right? And they don't know half as much as you give them credit for. My friend, if you're ever at another dinner party and it's all doctors, feck with their heads. It's remarkably easy to do. If you're ever out with a load of doctors and they're going, well, today I performed a fucking you just go, yeah, but what are hiccups exactly? There's many competing theories at the moment. And then you go, why, if you stay in bed longer, do you feel more tired? It's not my speciality, that particular field. Does time heal all wounds? Who the
fuck invited you to this dinner party anyway?
What are the Oil of Olay 7 signs of Asia? No one actually knows what the Oil of Olay 7 signs of aging are, right? Apparently they start with little lines around the eyes and finish with a woman sitting on a stairs with a bottle of gin going, I have them the best years of my life! And it takes a feckin' hell of a cream to get rid of that, let me tell you. Doctor, one final question. Doctor at the back there, my surgeon friend, liver and pancreas, answer me this. What are hiccups exactly?
Diaphragmatic irritation.
A diaphragmatic irritation. Good woman yourself, very good. Let the punters at home note, she said diaphragmatic irritation, which is right. I also would have accepted any arrhythmic irritation of the phrenic nerve. Please. I'm not a doctor. I'm just riding one. Okay.
But I think women should just let it out. It's a big day in a girl's life when she can freely let rip in front of her bloke. It is. I think women should be having I farted in front of my boyfriend for the first time parties. I do. I think they should be ringing up their mums, just going, Mum, I've got something to tell you. Oh, darling, what is it? I just did a fart in front of Tom. Oh, darling, that's wonderful news. And what did he say? He didn't say anything. He just laughed and farted back. My little girl's all grown up. Meanwhile, Dad will be in the background just going, women are farting far too early in front of their boyfriends these days. It was 18 months before your mother even trumped in my direction. 6 months before she'd take a dump in the house when I was around. Yes. And also, I'll tell you something else we pretend as well. We keep the lady garden quite tidy, us girls, don't we, in the early stages. We will do little tricks with it. Look, it's the strip, it's the Brazilian. Oh, look, I put a hat on it, it's the Mexican. Like we do. We do all that in the early stages, and then after about a year, it looks like the back of the wardrobe that leads to Narnia. Well, if he wants it, he's going to have to work for it. People saying to me, Andy, you could try meeting people in a nightclub. You'll never meet anyone good in a nightclub because the nightclub environment is designed to have us make bad decisions. It is because it's dark, you can't see, you can't hear. You know what, if nightclubs want to be responsible, what they should do to help us out is just before the exit, they should have a brightly lit room where you can check out the person you're leaving with. Yes, they should. They should call it, have a sodding word with yourself lounge. And you would literally get women in there just going, oh my God, you're wearing a fleece. I couldn't tell because it's so dark in there. Okay, nice to meet you. But listen, if you meet somebody online, what I'm going to say is there's some safety things to take into consideration. Now, I met somebody through Twitter, just the once. I'll never do it again. And it was the most irresponsible thing I think I've ever done. And I spoke to a friend about it before we met up, and I said, listen, I've met this guy, and we seem to really like each other, and we're talking about meeting up. What do you reckon? Should I meet him? And before my mate even had a chance to say anything, I said, you know what? I am going to meet this guy. You know why? Because life's too short. And my mate just went, yeah, you're going to find out how short. And my mum says, she says, look, if you go on these dates, make sure you meet in a public place, okay? And I'm just going to add something to that. Public place, brill. Public house, excellent. Public toilet. Never meet in a public toilet. No good can come of it. Unless it's, you know them space-age toilets that they have outside, where you put the money in, press the button, and then the door opens. You know why? Because you can pretend it's blind date. How cool is that? You just put the money in, press the button. And if you don't like it, just press the button really quickly. I I don't know why, like young couples, new couples have got this obsession with finding out how many people someone's been out with from before. Like, how many previous partners? This is a lose-lose situation, right? And if any of you have ever had that conversation or you think it's ever going to come up, this is what I say. This is what you should say, okay? Just say to the person that's asked you, you want to know how many previous partners? Okay, I'll tell you from the beginning, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, you, 6, 7...
Don't get me wrong, I'm moaning about Twitter. I'm not one of those people who's, technophobic. I hate technology. I mean, for example, I think Skype is brilliant, isn't it? Skype. It's fantastic, Skype. Oh, it's never been cheered before, but when I first saw it written down, I didn't realise that's how you pronounced it. I thought it was Sky PE. Like a shit version of Sky Sports. People standing around their vests and pants doing knee bends like that. Sky PE with Mr. Worthington. I need to get a new computer, actually, because my middle daughter, recently, what she did was, she poured Ribena in the computer, which is pretty much the worst place you can put Ribena, isn't it? Other than in Paul Gascoigne's glass. What is this shit? And she poured it in the computer, and obviously I was really annoyed, I was really angry, but I thought, don't get angry, get even. So what I did was, I put vodka in a hamster's water bottle. And now he's had to go away to the repairman too. I've got new glasses as well, went to Specsavers. Oh. Wasn't my idea, someone suggested it to me. I thought it was very rude of the guy since I'd just fallen in the river. You've got Specsavers, mate. You don't even know if I can swim. Because that's how I swim, sort of camp and upright. But I love wearing glasses, I love wearing glasses. What I like about it is any time I want, I can do this, right? And the world's a completely different place. It's sort of fuzzy, soft-focused, dreamy landscape where nothing really bad can happen. Now, normal people have to take drugs to feel like this. With my glasses off, I'll drive through gaps I wouldn't dream of with them on. If I got to reverse a caravan over a humpback bridge onto a rusting ferry, the first thing I'll think is, we won't be needing these, will we? And people say to me, why don't you get that laser operation on the eyes? And I don't want to do that for two reasons. Firstly, I know that out there somewhere is an eye surgeon who's like me. Bit slapdash. A bit of a bodger, managed to wing his way through the exams, kept his head down, and now he's got a laser beam trained on my eye. Do you reckon that's enough? Do you reckon? Yeah, a bit more, Connor. Oh, shit, that is too much, isn't it? That's... Woo. Tell you what, when he wakes up, tell him it's free. But also, apparently, when you have that operation, you can smell your own eye burning. I've never liked that smell. But it's fine when I take my glasses off. There's any glasses, a lady there wears glasses. Do you have this? You know when people ask you to try your glasses on, right? They never wait to be handed them, do they? They do, they just take them off. They just literally, people come up to you and say, can I try your glasses on? Then they just take them off your face. It's so rude. I think, oh, thanks very much, I'm blind. Nice one. But then, make it worse, then they put them on like that and they go, bloody hell, how'd you see through this? Just laugh in your face, like, ha 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 ha! You're blind, aren't you? Ha 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 ha! It's so rude, isn't it? I mean, you wouldn't got someone in a wheelchair and go, let's have a go in that, mate.
I went out recently on a shopping expedition to buy 1 carrot. Right, that was all I wanted, a single carrot. My wife was cooking. She wasn't just cooking that. She had a recipe of which that was a component. She wasn't just going to cook the carrot. There you are, like an ice lolly. It was more ambitious. And I tend to, she tends to do most of the cooking. I'm aware some people are thinking, I doubt he's got a wife. I bloody have. There's no time to prove it, but just take my word for it. There we are. I own a woman. So she, you can't say that these days, can you? Anyway, so to get onto more politically correct ground, my wife does all the cooking. Actually, well, it's actually true. I pretty much let my wife cook, but purely because it's a just sensible distribution of skills. My wife is a good cook, and I'm very poor at it. So my wife tends to do the cooking. I think it's quite an enlightened attitude, you know. I think these days, cooking tends to be quite a sort of testosterone-dominated field. It's all your Gordon Ramsay, Marco Pierre, all these people, you know, Jamie Oliver. It's all men. I think someone should be modern enough to say, let's get women cooking. You know, let's be 21st century about this. They've got the same rights as we have in the kitchen. So my wife sent me out to a dangerous gag. No, I wouldn't clap that. That's sort of more clever than funny, really. So my wife was cooking, and I'm happy with my role, which is basically, you know, just foraging. But I went to buy this one, I say foraging, it's very much, normally if you go to Tesco, you will lay hands on a carrot. There's no real jeopardy there. Still, I like to pick it up and go, you got it, you know. But actually, well, this is my point. It was surprisingly hard to buy a bloody carrot, right, for a start. So I took it to the till. This is all I was buying, 1 carrot. First of all, this lady tried to put it in a bag for me, and I always try, you know, to not take a bag if I don't need one for environmental reasons, but they're furious. You'll have tried doing this. If you say, I don't need a bag, they look at you like, how dare you, how dare you? This woman she said, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I don't want to appear cocky here, but I've got 2 hands, there's only 1 carrot. I think I will nail this. I'm almost certain I'll get this home by hook or by crook. What am I going to do, just walk around with 1 carrot in a bag? I've got my carrot in a bag, yeah. How's your day? Yeah, great, just walking with my carrot in its bag. I've got a piece of celery at home and a little bit of Tupperware as well. So, I don't want to make out I'm someone with a repertoire of vegetables that I walk. Anyway, then there's a receipt. She insisted on printing out a bloody receipt, and which meant the till roll had to be changed. Why? Why do you need a receipt for this transaction? All I'm buying is a single carrot. Why would you ever need a receipt? You're not going to bite into it and think, hang on, this is a pear, right? It's basically buying a carrot can't go that badly wrong. So by now I'm really impatient. I was frothing with impatience. I wanted to get home, see my wife, whether she exists or not. And finally, just when I thought I had finally secured this carrot, as I was walking out, this girl said, excuse me, sorry, before you go, so now I have to listen. I said, yes? She said, did you want to pre-order the Harry Potter DVD? Now, what part of my action so far will give you that impression? And I was trying to be polite. I said, sorry? She said, by now she's impatient, like I'm some sort of idiot. Did you want to pre-order the Harry Potter DVD? I mean, no, not really. My aim was to buy a carrot, and I would say I've achieved that modest aim. I mean, if I wanted to buy a Harry Potter DVD, what I'd probably do is go to somewhere like HMV, for example. I'd go to a place where you can buy DVDs. I'd pre-order it. When the time came, I would collect it, I'd take it home, I'd watch it. I wouldn't approach this transaction by going to a supermarket, seizing a carrot from the fruit and veg bit, and then standing there at the checkout thinking she knows what I really want here. She'll gather my true intentions. She knows that this carrot is a sort of metaphor for an orange wand.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's too expensive to be dating right now in this economy, man. All my go-to moves for dating, I can't even afford them no more. I'm pissed off, you know? I used to do the Netflix and chill. That was my go-to move, but that subscription is too much right now. I can't afford it, okay? If I had to downsize, I tell girls, baby, we're gonna have to Wikipedia and chill. That's my new move right now. That's where we read the plot of the movie by candlelight, take it or leave it. Also, bring your phone. We're using your data, by the way. You better be on gift app. Okay, as you go, you gotta go. Those are the rules, you know. There's consequences to that, though. I had a girl break up with me just because I didn't have money, and she got a new boyfriend. He's a nice guy, I know, because I stalk him online sometimes. He's a really nice man. Treats my girl really well, he really does. He buys her expensive handbags and things like that, and that's when I realized I can't compete, man. I can't compete with that. I never even bought this girl a bag for life, not one time. That's cheap. I'll be in Tesco like, baby, you better put that cheese in your pocket. We're not spending that 50p right there. These gold diggers want my plastic bags. They can't have them. That's my bag right there. I'm not a big fan of social media, man. I'm really not. Because I feel like with social media, when you break up with somebody, you can see what they're up to online. I don't like that. I prefer in the past where you broke up with somebody, you could just lie to yourself and pretend that they were still unhappy. That was a good era. I like that. You just be lying to yourself. You be like, man, she probably missing me all the time. She probably sad, you know. Now you just go on her Instagram and you're like, oh no, she 100% made the right decision. Good for her, man. I haven't seen her smile like this in years. In fact, she's thriving. She's got 3 bags for life in one photo. She leveled up for real, but congratulations to you, baby, you know. You know, when it comes to dating, I feel like the most important thing is finding somebody that you're compatible with, someone you have that connection with. For example, I used to date this girl, me and her got on really well, but there was a problem, and that was she liked dogs, right? Don't get me wrong, I like dogs too, but she liked dogs too much, you know? She liked dogs too much. She used to kiss her dog. That was weird, you know? I don't even know what was weirder. Was it the fact that she would kiss her dog, or the fact that when she did, the dog would make eye contact with me the whole time? That's a weird power play. I said, this dog is an alpha. I don't feel safe in this relationship. This is a toxic masculinity dog right here. I gotta go. I caught that dog listening to Andrew Tate. I said, I'm out of here. I can't do this no more. I've been reading up about that. That's the new thing, toxic masculinity, man. You know, I keep hearing women say men are trash. You know, I don't think anybody's asking the important questions. Are they recyclable? I feel like that's the kind of stuff we gotta ask. Can we make this toxicity carbon neutral? Maybe, I don't know, you know. I like to think I'm a good guy, but even as a good guy, I make small mistakes sometimes, innocent mistakes. You ever been in that situation as a man, a really awkward situation, you're walking home late at night and there's a woman in front of you and it's dark and there's a lot of tension in the air. You can feel the tension, right? Obviously, I can understand why the woman's feeling tense, but I'm feeling tense too, okay? I'm a good guy, I just want that woman to relax, we both go about our day. But apparently, it makes it worse in that situation if you shout out, I'm not gonna hurt you! Like that makes the situation more tense. Sometimes they run faster when you do that. Don't do that, guys. Don't jump out of a bush and do that. Women don't like that, okay? One time I was walking behind this woman late at night. I know it sounds like there's a pattern emerging. I'm not doing this on purpose. Just both off the night bus at the same time. It's unfortunate, you know. But I'm walking behind this woman. I was like, I don't want to make the same mistake from last time, shout something out, do something dumb. So I thought it'd be a good idea if I did something non-verbal to help put the woman at ease, okay? I thought it'd be a good idea if I started whistling at night because I thought that would make the atmosphere more jovial. No, it doesn't. Makes it way creepier to my surprise, actually. Especially if you're like me and you don't even know how to whistle properly. So then you're just a guy who's blowing in the wind in the dark, real slow, like. Look like a creepy dinosaur, you can't do that.
My daughter and I were really close. I took her out for some festive cocktails last week, and we went to one of those lovely fancy sky bars down on the south bank of the Thames. And as we were queuing to get in, they were doing very, very thorough bag checks on the door. My daughter's face just fell, and she said, Mum, they won't suspect you. Can you put my weed in your pocket? Oh, that's a bit's gone wrong here, hasn't it? Can you put my weed in your pocket, please? And where was I going to put my cocaine? But we got in, we had the most wonderful night, and we kept getting free cocktails. There was a very, very good-looking young waiter, wouldn't let us pay for a single thing. At the end of the night, that waiter came over, he bent down, he said to my daughter, he said, if you weren't here, I'd take your mum home with me. I couldn't believe how long it took to get an Uber for my daughter. It was So I found this thing online that can best be described as a menopause magnet, right? I don't mean George Clooney. This is literally a magnetic device to help a woman through the menopause. This thing arrived in the post. It said it would help me with my mood swings and my hot flushes. And what you do is, I know this sounds weird, sir, right? But what you do is, you put a magnet on the front of your knickers. You put a metal disc on the inside of your knickers. It keeps the magnet securely and discreetly in place. And that bit works so beautifully. But what they don't tell you on the menopause magnet packaging is when it is tucked neatly and very discreetly in your pants, distinct possibility you will find yourself metallically attached to the self-checkout in Waitrose. The unexpected item in the bagging area. I just rang it through as a butternut squash and I pissed off. I felt so stupid. The week before, I'd spent a whole 10 minutes attached to my tumble dryer. I mean, it was a very nice 10 minutes if I'm... It took me so long to decorate the tree this year. All the baubles kept getting stuck in my pubic triangle. I've still got at least one novelty Santa down there. But no, they're really powerful magnets. Honestly, so if you've got any metal fillings, I'd shimmy back a bit and shut your mouth. A pandemic was no place for a menopausal woman, right? Do you remember when they were taking your temperatures everywhere before you could get in? We were only ever one hot flush away from getting fully cancelled. It was... I remember the last time it happened so clearly. I was out with a friend, we were trying to just get a pizza, and they were taking temperatures on the door, and the guy took mine, and he looked at me, he said, "There's a problem." And I said, "What do you mean there's a problem?" He said, "I'm really sorry, there is a problem." And I said, "Am I a little bit overheated?" That's funny, because I'm a 50-year-old woman. I've just spent an hour and a quarter on the Northern Line wearing a mask, and I raised 2 children single-handedly. I gave birth to them with no pain relief while their dad complained his back was hurting, and I hadn't had a good night's sleep in about 2 years because of my anxiety, my irrational crying, and my vaginal dryness. I don't know what my body's doing. It should send the tears down there. That's where I really need them, and I am attached to your fire extinguisher by my pants. Turned out the problem was with the card machine. You had to pay on the app, so...
Liverpool has a strange relationship with Manchester as well. Is anybody in from Liverpool? All right, thought we might have priced you out. Not to worry. I love Liverpool. It's a beautiful city. And I remember when I first went over there, I support Manchester City, right? That's my football team. And I remember going over there in my Manchester City shirt, and I stopped this bloke at the train station. I said, "Listen, mate, I'm a bit lost. I'm trying to find the docks. Can you help us out?" And he turned around and he went... Which is a word in Liverpool, right? Honestly, right? It means you're not welcome, right? You pick it up quick enough, right? Eventually he got to some sound, he went, "Hey!" Because they're naturally witty, they're born with that, right? He said, "What are you doing over there in Liverpool?" I love him. I do. Now, at that stage, you're tempted to say calm down, but that makes things worse, right? You don't like that. I was very brave, though. I looked in the eye and said, "Listen, I asked you for directions, officer. You are bang out of order, mate." Keep it down with it. But football, you know, has that problem, doesn't it? There's a lot of cities hate each other just because of the football. You know, I support City, and obviously Manchester United is our nearest club. And we got any United fans in? Of course we have. We're in Hammersmith. There's always a United fan. Every gig I do, there's a United fan. They're like rats. You're only ever 3 metres away from one of the bastards. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go is a red. I love football, but I'm getting to this stage where I'm starting to dislike footballers. I don't know if anyone else has this problem, right? But these like multi-millionaires running around the pitch, you know, every 5 minutes. I've hurt myself. There was a bloke a few weeks back, he missed 3 Premiership games with a dead leg, right? Now, that's not an injury, is it, a dead leg, right? When I was a kid, I had 3 dead legs in one day once, right? And that was for free. I still have to do PE and walk home. That's not an injury, mate. My granddad's favourite footballer was a German goalkeeper called Bert Trautmann, right? Now, in the 1956 FA Cup final, does anyone know what happened to old Bert? He broke his neck. Look at you like the quiz team. Bang, straight in, no messing about. He broke his neck and carried on playing, right? That's how hard they were in the 50s. The metatarsal, not even invented in 1956. He just got up, carried on diving about with a wobbly head, right? Not bothered. Not bothered. Not these days, it's... the fans keep shouting nasty things at us. Hands me up. It's right, innit? And I'm there in the crowd watching, thinking, do you know what? You're on 60 grand a week. If I think you're a knobhead, I'll tell you, right? And that's the way it should work, because if I was on that sort of money, I'd take it as well. Do you know what I mean? I'd stay an extra half hour at the end of the game just to take it. You're a knobhead? Yeah, I don't know. See you next week, lads. God bless. Yeah. Your mum's a knobhead? Yeah, but you should see her house. See you later. Who's the winner?
So I'm gay. I don't know if I needed to explain that. And if you've seen me before, I'm still gay. If anything, it's getting worse. And I'm completely gay as well. Like, I've never tried it any other way. I've never tried it with a woman. I'm a thoroughbred. And I mean, really, I wouldn't know a vagina if it hit me in the face. Maybe how they do that? Have they got hands? I've never seen one. Though I have been twatted. And I realise I come up here and I talk and sound all posh, don't I? Probably quite intimidatingly so to you. But I'm not actually from a very posh family at all. I'm from a very ordinary family, and I went to a very ordinary comprehensive school, very ordinary. I know, isn't it moving? And I do think at school, like, they try and prepare you for life, don't they? I don't know how well they do it. Like, I remember at primary school, they used to try and prepare us for life by giving us assemblies every day. We'd have assembly every day, where we'd all be sat in the hall, on the floor, in rows, and then the teachers would be sat on the end of the rows on chairs because they were stronger. And then our head teacher, called Mr. Babbage, would come in, and he'd walk to the front, and he'd say, "Good morning, everybody," and then the whole school would go, "Good morning, Mr. Babbage," because they were all drunk. And then he'd read us a story, and it would always be a story about, like, how to make a soup out of stones. And I think Jesus was there somewhere. And there was always a moral, and the moral was always something like, be poor. And then after that, he sometimes read us a letter from Rapamundi, and Rapamundi was this girl, right, we were always raising money for in India. She would write us these letters about how dreadful her life was. And she did have an awful, dreadful life. But then she always found time to write. And then, after that, we'd always have a collection of postage stamps for guide dogs. I don't know who these guide dogs are writing to. And then eventually, when you've done enough of that, then you get to go, of course, to secondary school, don't you? Secondary school, and that's where you get to learn really interesting things at secondary school, isn't it? Like, you get to learn about novels in English, and you get to learn about fingering, and you get to learn about, like, proper grown-up maths, don't you? Or math, as they say in America, don't they? Math. But we do it more than once. And I remember learning things like Pythagoras' theorem. Do you remember that? Pythagoras' theorem. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Sokatoa. Do you remember that? Sokatoa. 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 It's a thing. I'm not just having a stroke. Sokatoa. Sokatoa. Sokatoa means sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. I mean, now, as an adult, looking back, it would have been nice, wouldn't it, if they spent maybe half an hour, or even just like 10 minutes, really, just 10 minutes going, this is a pension scheme. This is how you fill in a tax return, and this is how you get over a broken heart, and this is how you tell an estate agent to fuck off.
I'll set the scene. You're in stirrups, so it's like you've been riding a horse, and then the horse has fucked off. And you've toppled over and ended up, in my case, in the back room of an NHS hospital. Then what has happened, every time I've been for a smear, and I don't know, something they're rolling out just for me, but every time I've been for a smear, what seems to happen is a doctor will come over and they'll go, "Hi, Miss Ruffle, thanks so much for coming in. It's really important you keep up to date with your smear test. Now listen, if this is a problem, you can absolutely say no. You can totally say no. It's not a big deal. But would it be all right? We have some trainee doctors in today. Could they all come in?" And you want to go, no, there's a horse on the loose. Could they go and get that? But you love the NHS, so you've got to go, yes, of course, no problem, it's absolutely fine. And then what happens is between 65 and 70 trainee doctors come in. There's loads of them. It's like a walking tour's got lost. It's not good. I also need to let you know something. People in the room that haven't been to a smear, I need to let you know something. When you're having your smear, you feel a little bit silly. You feel a little bit silly, and I'll tell you for why. T-shirt, nothing. Little pair of socks. A little bit silly. You feel a little bit like Winnie the Pooh. The doctor's back. She says, "Miss Ruffle, would it be okay if one of the other trainee doctors did your smear?" And you want to say, no, can I have someone who's had a crack at it before, please? But you love the NHS, so you've got to go, yes, of course, no problem, it's absolutely fine. And then what happens? The trainee doctor came at me like this. The doctor's back. She says, "Miss Ruffle, would it be okay if one of the other trainee doctors did your paperwork?" I was like, "Yeah, once I'm a chuff, they'll fill out form. Carry on. So she goes, "You're Susie Ruffle." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." She goes, "Okay. First question, what are you using as contraception?" Undercut on the Doc Martens not enough? What more do you need? I said, "I'm not using contraception." She went, "Oh, well, if you're sexually active, you do need to be using contraception." And I was like, "Oh, no, I don't. She went, "No, you do. Because even if you're using the old-fashioned technique or, the Catholic technique," nothing about what I am doing is Catholic. She says, "You should be very careful. You can have a baby tomorrow." I think it'll take 9 months. I've got 4 GCSEs. You're nearly a doctor. You should know that. And she wasn't picking up what I was putting down. And what I was putting down was a KD Lang album. So eventually I just had to come out. Now, of course, there'll be queer people in the room. You know what it's like. Sometimes you have to come out in situations where you didn't know you were coming out that day. You hadn't put it in the diary. So I had to say, "I'm a gay lady. I'm a lady that's gay. I'm a glady." And the one that was down here doing the jiggery-pokery, which I think is the official term. I said I'm a gay lady, and she popped up like I'd birthed her. So, whoa. She is a lot older than I thought she'd be, but we are very proud she's a doctor. I said I'm a gay lady. She popped up and went, "Oh, right, that makes sense." Snug. That's not a medical term, is it? Has that gone on my record? Snug, what a weird word to use. Because it sounds like she's looking down there and she can see the back end of a Tudor pub.
We're very fortunate. We had a wonderful time in our life. I became a dad 18 months ago. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's actually 9 years old, but I've only just started getting involved. The hard work's done. I'll step in now, I think. No, he's a baby. He's a wonderful boy. It's stressful, very stressful. Not for me, for my little boy. Very stressful being a baby. His socks just fall off all day. Just start the day, you look down, his socks are off again. Imagine if you were going through that as adults. Your mental health would be in the gutter if you were going through that. I'm amazed it isn't more baby's first words when they learn to speak, not mum or dada. What the fuck's going on with these socks? Seriously. Mad being a baby. My little boy, he's 18 months old. He's got 3 xylophones. Why would anybody need 3 xylophones? There's professional xylophone players with less xylophones than this kid. I said to my wife, I said, why has he got 3 xylophones? She goes, oh, he likes to play one in the bath. That's some kind of eccentric billionaire. What is going on here? I'm enjoying being a dad. It's changed my whole perspective, to be honest, being a dad. Like, growing up, I used to think that I had an angry dad. Growing up, I always thought I had an angry dad. And now I'm a dad, and I'm like, oh, no. We just pushed a very reasonable man to breaking point. Just a lovely guy. I think being a parent is a lot like eating a pomegranate. Like, there's really nice little bits, but ultimately, I'm not sure it's worth it. It's really hard. People give you mad advice as well when you have a kid. My little boy, actually, he's about a week old. I was holding him. And my mum, actually, she said, Josh, just think, that little boy you're holding there could go on to be anything he wants to be. He could be a top doctor, a politician, an astronaut. I was like, wow, that's incredible. But also, I wouldn't have thought so. An astronaut, from me to an astronaut in 1 generation. That's a hell of a leap. I went to the pub the other day. It was a push door. I was pulling it. I thought the pub was closed. I just went home. I could see people inside. Well, how have they got in there? What's going on? NASA are not knocking down my door. I don't think he'll be a politician either, because he's going to go to the same shit school in the Midlands that I went to. And politicians, they all go to the posh schools, don't they? And people don't like that. They say, oh, politicians, they all go to the posh schools. I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I don't think you'd want anybody from my school being in charge of the country. Maybe this is very progressive, but I think if you learn maths in a porter cabin, don't get involved in government. I don't know. If you learn about history by watching Blackadder on a wheeled-in TV, stay out of it.
There's other younger people in the room, right? You know what I mean. You have only ever known a time in your life when you're trying not to get pregnant or trying not to get somebody else pregnant. And I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but on both accounts, I fucking smashed it. I think it comes down to skill set at the end of the day, doesn't it? People are just good at different things. Some people are good at the violin. Some people are good at parallel parking. I was very good at taking the pill. Every day, every day, every day. Honestly, I used to think I was so good at taking the pill, I deserved a reward. Arguably, there was a reward. It was the reward of not having to watch Peppa Pig or cleaning up another human's shit. Tell you what I don't understand, right, is women who are on the pill and forget to take it. Don't get that. Because don't get me wrong, I forget things. I forget my keys, my wallet, the fact I'm married. Sure! But forgetting to take something that can prevent you from creating a human that could one day say, turn the machines off, is what she would have wanted. I'm going to remember that one, thank you. Obviously, it does happen, though. Women forget to take the pill, they get knocked up. Happened to a girl I used to work with, actually, when I used to work in an office, right? And we were chatting about it one day. She was so blasé. We're in the kitchen. She's just standing there rubbing her belly like, well, the thing is, I've just got really bad memory. I was thinking, that's funny, because every day without fail, you remember to steal my milk. Maybe if you'd strapped your packet of microgynon to my semi-skimmed, Stephen in accounts wouldn't be telling everyone how you trapped him. But I think the reason I was always very good at remembering to take the pill, because I've been on it for so long. I was on it since I was about 16. And the reason I started taking it was because I was going out with my first boyfriend, Kevin Sutherland. A boom, chicka, wow, wow. He was quite the catch. He had a Peugeot 106 and a tattoo of Bart Simpson, which I thought showed a great joie de vivre. And things were going very well between Kevin and I. We had matching bracelets from Argos, so you can tell how serious we were. And we'd agreed that we were going to do it for the first time, right? So I was like, right, I put myself on the pill because my first time is going to be really special. My first time is going to be just like in the movies. So the big day arrived, and Kevin, bless him, he made such an effort for everything to be really perfect. Like, he paid his little brother to leave the room. To this day, the most romantic thing a man has ever done for me. And he made a mix CD of all of our favourite romantic songs. You know, like Boom, 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 Let Me Hear You Say Wayo. And as we lay down on his single bed, with his Liverpool FC duvet cover on it, the scent of Lynx Africa heavy in the air. And as Kevin took my virginity so beautifully, and gently, and quickly, from behind, I remember thinking, wow, just like in the movies. Obviously, it's quite difficult to make eye contact in that position, isn't it? Almost felt like I lost my virginity to Stephen Gerrard. I'll never walk alone. I never will.
I read this thing, right, online, so it must be true, where everyone who's under the age of 30 is going to live till 160. Like, you look tired now. 160? I don't want to be sat in a flat, leaking, liver spotted. Your ears and nose, they never stop growing. I'm going to be sat there looking like I work at bloody Gringotts Bank, just like, And I think if I get to 160, I'm ending it. I don't know how you do it. What are you going to do? Sort of suffocate yourself with a bag for life? I reckon the best way, and maybe like a toaster in a bath situation, but it'd be one of those like sit-down baths with a chair and a door, and then you have to wait for it all to fill up. You put in a bit of matey for a last bit of luxury, and then you go, oh shit, I forgot the toaster, and then you have to wait for it all to drain. You open the door, you go out onto the landing, down a stair lift, into the kitchen, you go, what the bloody hell have I come in here for? It's never going to happen. I'm trying to do more nice things, though. That's what I'm trying to do. Because I've never really done anything with my life. I did a thing recently. I went to go and give blood for the first time. Has anyone ever done that? It's just one woman like, yeah, I did it today. It's amazing, but I thought you did it in like a hospital or like a sanitised medical centre. You don't. You do it in like a rugby club or like a methadone church, right? I turned up to this bingo hall near my nan's house, right? I was greeted by the second moodiest person I've ever seen in my life. It was a woman called Linda. Like, her name badge said Jean, but she looked like a Linda. Do you know what I mean? Like short bob, gelled fringe, good at darts. She weren't happy. She weren't. I turned up, she goes, have you got an appointment? And I went, no. And she goes, have you filled out a form? And I went, no. And then she threw this form at me, and as I'm walking off, she goes, thank you very much for giving blood. We really appreciate it. Giving blood is the greatest gift anyone could ever receive. And I'm thinking, Linda's never been given a slow cooker. So, take this form, I start filling it out. I had to use this woman's eyeliner because Linda wouldn't lend me a pen. Just filling it all out. And as I said, the only reason I went to go and give blood is make myself feel like I'd done something with my life. And instead, I'm faced with all these very serious adult questions. It was things like, have you ever been to Africa? And I'm like, no. And he goes, have you ever had sex with a man? And I'm like, no. And he goes, have you ever had sex with a prostitute? And I thought, I've done fucking nothing with my life. Nothing. Have you injected drugs? Have you spoken drugs? Have you had any treatments in the last 6 months? I panicked. I went, oh, well, me and my mum have had facials off Groupon. Not the right answer. Weirdest question, are you HIV positive? I was like, what? Like, no. Like, if anything, I'm against it. And then they took me off into this room, and there's all these sort of like Sharons and Johns lay on beds with sort of needles in their arms. Like, it looked like a spa day for smackheads. Belt round my arm, not even a nice belt. They spanked it a bit, they told me to relax, and then they whipped out the biggest flipping needle I've ever seen in my life, and I just fainted. Completely fainted. I can hear all these muffled voices, and then I can hear Linda's bellowing voice just going, I knew he'd be a fainter. I'm like... By the time I'd come around, all these people are trying to help me out, and Linda just parted them. And her way of trying to make me feel better, her way of trying to make me feel like a proper grown-up was going, would you like a glass of orange juice and a biscuit? I was like, no, Linda, I want to have sex with an African gay man for money. That's what I want to bloody do.
It's lovely to be here. I've come all the way from Brighton. Just in case you're wondering what this haircut is about. Might be a new face for some of you people. Don't panic, the BBC invited me here because they needed a beige lesbian. So I'm just here to tick some boxes. Not your box, madam, just a metaphorical box. I'm half Spanish, that's what's happening there. I've got a Spanish mum. And she lives here in the UK. It's all very legal. She's lived longer in the UK than she's ever lived in Spain, but the brilliant thing about my mum is that she's never lost her accent. She's done very, very quickly. She's done lost the words she cannot pronounce. Lost the words she cannot pronounce, huh? My favourite word that my mum's never been able to pronounce is my brother's name. It's not even a difficult name. His name's Stephen. Notice this, Spanish people, any word that begins with the letter S, they struggle, right? So my mum doesn't call him Stephen, she calls him Steven. What's his name, Mum? Steven. Is it? Isn't it just Stephen? Jennifer, I know his name is my son, it is Steven! You don't want to mess with my mum. She's not like British people here in this country. We can be quite passive-aggressive, can't we? She's just very aggressive woman. I don't know how my mum's never really coped in this country, and I think it's because, like a lot of Mediterranean people, she's quite loud, yeah? She's got one volume. It's like this. Hello! How are you? Whereas in this country, particularly if we're middle class, we tend to be low talkers, don't we? We don't like to raise our voices, do we? Why? Because we've got money. And we just assume that if you are raising your voice, well, you're probably poor. Or worse, foreign. Great thing about having a Mediterranean mum is they feed you. Oh, my God. She's always feeding. That's her way of showing that she loves her children, is to feed us. You know, I can remember going around friends' houses, you know, like English mums. Go around an English mum's house and the conversation with mum's more like this. I think you've had enough. My mum will feed you till you puke. Anything can be going on in my life and my mum will relate it back to a meal that she's cooked. Do you know what I mean? Like, so good or bad, particularly if I'm depressed. If I phone up my mum and I've had a terrible day, yeah? I phone up my mum, conversation always goes like this. Oh, Jennifer, my God, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having a hard time right now. But you know what? Don't worry, okay? I made a soup. Come home. You sound hungry. Me the chicken carne, me the lamb tagine, me the casserole, and if I made some tortillas, some paella, some curry, and if you love the curry, maybe some meatballs, some pork ball, beef ball, aniseed ball, banana ball. You're a lesbian, you don't eat enough balls. Please, come home. Eat my balls.
Do you love London? I love London. I feel like London is created by the people, right? Who are just crazy and sexy and ambitious. I got into an Uber the other day, not bragging, and I got into an Uber and the driver, he said, would you like to have the radio on? And I was like, oh, I don't mind, it's up to you. And then he said, well, actually, I make my own music. Do you mind if I put some of that on? No, I don't. And then he put on Drake's new album. I wonder how often it works. I wonder how often there's a middle-aged white woman thinking, oh, well, he looks like Aladdin and he sounds like confidence personified. Pull over and jump in the back, Nikolai. I'm having a good life. I have recently started doing yoga, which is just change. Yes, woo for the yoga over there. Are you a team? Come to... I'm new to it. I love it. Yoga has changed my life. It's brilliant. Yoga is my new drug. My old drug was drugs. Which I'm not going to say anything positive about because it would be incredibly irresponsible. I'm not going to say anything positive about drug taking. What I will say is I didn't take MDMA until I was 32, and it was such a relief to know I could be happy. Just assume the equipment's broken. But yoga is nearly as good, and there's no downsides. It's given me a whole new language. My favourite new word is namaste. Yeah, it's a very old word, it's very sacred, and it means the yoga has finished now. And then you're allowed to leave. I think that the key to being happy as you get older is self-acceptance. Like, I have to accept things about myself now. Like, I'm 36, I thought I would have children by now, and I don't. In an ideal world, what I wanted to self-fertilise. I wanted to have children that were exactly my genetics so that I could show them to my parents and go, see, it was my childhood, they're fine. Science can't do that yet. And then I had a crazy day last month where I just thought, I'm just going to buy some sperm. I'm just going to buy some sperm off the internet. I've got a good job. I'm just going to buy some sperm. Guys, sperm is so much more expensive than I thought it was going to be. It is tens of thousands of pounds. We are all wasting a valuable resource. 17-year-old me would have been a millionaire if I'd learned how to catch it and chuck it in the freezer. It's a shock. I do think self-acceptance is the key. Like, there's things about myself I don't like, but I just have to accept now that they're not going to change. This is who I am. Like, so for instance, I don't like art. I think art is rubbish. I think lots of people think art is rubbish, but we're too worried of looking stupid, so we go along with it. I think that the worst art form is theatre. Right, okay, I can sense how unpopular this opinion is. Hear me out. I think theatre is diabolical. Look, I do, look, and also, I'm aware, if you are a performer of some kind, if you're an actor, look, please don't be offended. I don't mean being in the play. Obviously, if you're the person in the play that gets to put a wig on and walk up and down and move your arms and project your voice, saying things like, I think you'll find you're contradicting yourself, Alan. Fun. Having to watch it. Dear Christ. I can't concentrate. I can't lose myself in the story. I know that it's not real because I'm surrounded by people eating crisps. And they don't let you look at your phone. So all you're thinking is, well, how long has it been?
I've made a list of pros and cons because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good, give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. It doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it? Pro, increased plug socket access. Bang, 1-1. I say increased, it's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house, each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, All experiences that formed the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer. Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. Oh, John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose me house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Yeah. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half, because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. It'd be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? That'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
I asked her to marry me, she said no, for a laugh. We were in a restaurant, and I remember the whole thing vividly. And here's another damning indictment as well on the state of our relationship. She told me this afterwards. Apparently, she knew I was going to ask her to marry me that day because, quote, I'd been really nice to her all day. Kind of feel a bit bad about that. We were in a restaurant. I remember I kept trying to get the conversation round to the subject of us. You know, and where we're going in our relationship and that sort of thing. Because you can't just go from a standing start to a proposal. You can't just go, you know, how's your dessert? Marry me? It's got to be a bit of finesse. And if you do, lads, try not to make it sound as needy as I just did there. Save a drowning man. That's not safe. We were in a restaurant, and I'm trying to get it onto that subject, onto that, you know, subject of conversation. She, however, had about 3-4 glasses of white wine at this point. And Wurzel had his talking head on. She would not shut the hell up. And it wasn't that she just kept talking, she kept interrupting me and changing the subject. I was a baby, you and me. It was a children's TV program, never really cared for it, more of a heads and tails girl, don't you know me at all? I mean, as a couple of tequilas, shots, whiskey, what do you want? Shut up! After 20 minutes of trying to talk about us and where we're going in our relationship and what the next step of our relationship should be, and her wanting to talk about anything but our relationship, I began to think, wow, this must be what it's like to be the woman in a relationship. Anyway, the old switcheroo. Anyway, eventually, I get it onto the subject of us long enough to pop the question. I go, I'm asking you to marry me. And she says, no. And I say, what? On the outside. On the inside, I'm going, you what? And then she says to me, I swear to you, with tears rolling down her rosy Derbyshire cheeks, as she theatrically pushed the ring back across the table towards me, she goes, I can't marry you. And I went, oh. And she went, I'm only joking. a beezer of a jape. Hey, what a top-hole A-grade wheeze. That's some funny shit right there. Ladies, not everybody's comedy show has to have a moral or a message or a meaning, but if mine had one, it would probably be something along the lines of, for Christ's sake, don't ever do that. And it's not just because it's mean, because obviously it's not the meanest thing you could do. The meanest thing you could do would be to do the opposite. That would edge it from meanness, wouldn't it? Will you marry me? I'd love to. Psych! That would be mean. If you're going to say yes, just say it, and say it quickly. None of this no for a laugh bullshit, because not only is it not funny, not only is it mean, also, you'll be surprised how quickly a man's mind can work under stressful conditions. And you don't want his brain going the place it's going to go. From the time she says, I can't marry you, I was off. Like, oh, she doesn't want to marry me. That's a shame. I thought I was in there. Well, we may as well break up. Not a lot of point in continuing with what is quite clearly a farce of a relationship. I suppose I could buy her out of the house. Maybe we could sell the house, split the money down the middle. Get myself a little bachelor pad in the West End of London. Have the lads round for drinks every night. God, it's been ages since the lads came round for drinks, hasn't it? Yeah. Maybe not even London. Maybe I'll move back to Ireland or move up to Scotland. Oh, you know what? I'll go to the States. I'll call that agent that I met in Montreal, get that ball rolling, go to LA, try and break the States. To hell with LA. I'll go to Vegas. I'll become a lounge act. I won't make a lot of money, but I'll shag dancing girls every day and take drugs every night. I'll be dead by the time I'm 50, but I'll have a laugh. I'll do what I like. I'll do whatever the hell I want with my life. I'm only joking. Oh,
Now, let me just start by saying, well done to any parents who've made it here tonight. We got parents? Because here's what I've realised. If you've not got children, you're just here. It's easy, but if you're a parent, this is everything. This will have been in the diary for months. There'll be parents in here tonight, don't even care about the show. They're just enjoying sitting in the dark for a bit. That is like a spa day for some of them. I can see them now at the back just going, this is so good. Don't make me go back, John. Don't make me go back. I get it, okay? I've got 2 young children. My youngest one's Sophia. She's 5 now. I mean, I say she's 5. She's 3 when we go swimming. I'm not an idiot. 4 on a bus, 3 on a train. That's the system, isn't it? I'll be honest, she hasn't got a clue how old she is now, that one. She's so confused. Every birthday is a genuine surprise for all of us. This kid wandering round, how old am I today then, Daddy? Depends what we're doing, darling, doesn't it? Have you checked the spreadsheet? You said Alton Towers. Right, well, getting that baby grow looks small, all right? Not paying 48 quid for you to go on some teacups, that way, mate. Come on. What does Daddy say? Well, get on board with the fraud. There's a good girl. Now stop talking, we're trying to breastfeed you. Listen! You go through that turnstile with a 5-year-old hanging off your tit, they ask no questions. I've got one, why does she have to bite me? But, so she's a great kid. There's just a lot of admin when your kids are that little. Have we got primary school teachers amongst us this evening? Great, I'm glad you're here, because I can direct all this venom at you. Because here's my problem, my daughter brings home stuff she's made every day under people like you. And I just want to say on behalf of all the parents here tonight, just stop it. We can't deal with it anymore. You don't see it at your end. You just keep sending it. Your carbon footprint is massive. It is. You might as well have driven an oil tanker into a family of puffins, you people. We'll never solve the climate problem with you involved, because it just keeps coming, doesn't it? And it's not arts and crafts anymore. It's emotional landfill. That's what it is. Because Gemma will say, oh, she's put a name on it, so we have to keep it. We don't. We don't. She's not Banksy. Get it in the bin, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's another picture of a sheep out of dried pasta, innit? We've had 4 this week. I tell you, no wonder there's a school meals crisis. Stop sticking it on paper and cook it, you morons. We'll feed these kids for years. I'm just envious of my parents now. Their lives are so simple. Like, they're retired. My dad loves being retired, mainly because he's paying the world back one day at a time for all the misery it's caused him. He sets his alarm 8 o'clock every morning, gets up, gets out into rush hour traffic. Just gets in everyone's way. That is a day out for that man now. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Sometimes he'll even take the car. But, of course he takes the car. How else would you tow a caravan? But he's a great man. There's a man down here, so it reminds me of my dad, mate. Yeah, you don't look like him. It's just he's bitterly disappointed in me as well. That's fine. For everyone. He's called Roy, my dad, Apollo, which is a very manly name, isn't it? Like people called Roy come out the womb already able to grout a bathroom. That's how hard that name is. He was born by caesarean section, my dad. I reckon the first thing he did was turn around to his own mother and give her a quote for the damage. Just came out with a pencil. That's all right. We'll plaster over that. Don't worry. See you next week.
Oh, yes. You know what I love about London town is we welcome all the people from all around the world, innit? I bet you he's got people from overseas in the house tonight. Overseas people, show me some love. Loads and loads and loads. What about over there? I saw a few people who was from overseas. Where are you from, guys? Australia. Welcome the Australians. There's so many Aussies in London. We even got nicknames for each other. That's crazy. You call us Poms, innit? Yeah, we call you racists. Welcome, you legend, my man. Do you miss it out there, all the beaches and the barbecues and all that? Yeah, probably about time you pissed off home, innit? Jokes, 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 you legend. It's just banter. Do you know what I mean? We'll have a drink in the bar afterwards? Yes. Promise you'll serve me first, though. Welcome to you. Isn't this nice? All the different foreign people. Who else has we got in the house? Yeah, legend over there. You're proud of where you're from. Where you from? Wales. You idiot. They get well wound up when we call them sheep shaggers, innit? Don't know why you don't just stop it, but there you go. Welcome, geese. I've been to Wales. It's a nice place, isn't it? There's even like a time difference, ain't there, which I couldn't believe. Yes, I was in Swansea. They're about 8 years behind. Welcome to Wales, man. Who else has we got in? And it's nice. What's that, you legend?
Kenya!
Kenya? Oh, welcome, you legend. I got African relatives of mine, and I feel like there's a bond there. I never knew I had African relatives until I got an email out of the blue about 2 weeks ago. Welcome, welcome. I love it all, man. All the different cultures, all the different things, different accents. Ain't that fun? Everyone's got different accents. I hear different accents, I think of different things. I hear like Australian accent, I'm thinking sport. You know, I hear Italian accent, I'm thinking food. I hear Indian accent, I think I'm about to be put on hold. Welcome all of yous, man. Welcome all of yous. Because that's the thing about London, we do welcome ya. You know, come along, have a giggle. I'll say there's only one day every year when we don't welcome the foreigners. When we let all the frustrations on the foreigners out of the system. Just one day every year in London. London's, you know what I'm talking about, innit? That one day every year, we close down all the roads in the centre of London. And thousands of people chase after these 5 Kenyans. And a load of people in wheelchairs. It's not nice.
You were excited about the release of Windows 7, weren't you? You're not normal, are you, Will? That's what it boils down to. you worry me, and I'll tell you why, yeah? Yeah? I mean, you're a nice lad. But what you're forgetting, and that everyone else here has remembered tonight, is that today is tomorrow's history, isn't it? Yeah? Think about it. Today is tomorrow's history. And yeah, history's written by the winners, Will. Yeah, French history books, of course, are blank from cover to cover. The point is... yeah, and I'm worried, what if the world ended right now, ladies and gentlemen? What if the world ended right now? And it could happen. The ice caps could melt, we'd all be drowned, couldn't we, yeah? Or someone could leave the taps on, we could all be drowned. The greenhouse effect could take effect, couldn't it? And the world would be plagued by a plague of tiny green unripe tomatoes. Yeah, it could happen. Yeah? Well, the Chinese, all of them, Chinese, all at once, all of the Chinese, all of them could jump up and down, like that. And crack the Earth's crust. It could happen, Will. The thing with you, Will, is I'm worried. What if the archaeologists of the future, in 1 million years' time, you know what archaeologists are like, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah? They dig a hole, they find one leather shoe, and then they can paint a picture of an entire bloody city based on the strength of that one leather shoe. What if, in 1 million years' time, they find you, Will, the sole surviving remnant of all human civilization? Yeah? They're going to think we're a bunch of wankers. It's not personal. It's for the sake of everyone else, my friends. Well, if in 1 million years' time they find you at the bottom, they find an aspirin inhaler, a tub of E45 cream, a book of blank verse, some subtitled French films, and the manual for Windows 7. And they look at you and they look at us, and we will be judged. So, I'm offering you something, mate. What I want to do right now, for the sake of all mankind, is fix you. Right now, live on stage. Yeah? Up you come, Will. Round of applause for Will. Up you come, son. Come on, son. Of course you come, pal. Welcome. Welcome. Look at them all. It's Will, ladies and gentlemen. It's Will. Welcome. Yeah, you got any hobbies, Will?
I quite like tennis.
You quite like tennis?
Quite like tennis.
I've got a lot of work to do here, haven't I? You disgust me. Now,
It's a good game.
Shut up. Now, what we're going to do, it's dead simple. What we're going to do is we're going to do compare and contrast between me and you. Right? Normal and Will. Right?
Okay.
You up for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so put your hands out in front of yourself like that. Yeah, like that, so everyone can see them. Yeah? That's it. Yeah? Now look at my hands.
Yeah.
Now look at your hands. Yeah? Now look at my hands. Now look at your hands. Now look at my hands. Now look at your hands. Now, tell me, Will, what have I got that you ain't?
You've got 2 rings on.
No, it's not the rings. But what's happening there, mate, is I'm pointing at the moon and you're looking at my finger. You can't see the wood for the trees. What I've got that you haven't is class, isn't it?
How so?
No, look, I'll sort you out, pal. Here, put this on. Put that on.
It's too big.
Yeah, put it on.
Which finger?
Yeah, shut your face.
Which finger?
Put it on. That one, you donut. There you go. And the other one. There you go. Yeah, and now, here we go. Let's sort you out. Yeah, you got rubber bands on and stuff, haven't you? Hey, rubber bands. Yeah, to show how much money you give to charity. You arsehole. Hey, shut. Yeah. We're nearly there. Let's see it. Nearly. One last touch for you, Will. 1 second. Here we go, pal. How about this? Yeah. Put this on. Put this on. There we go. Yeah, pop that on. Yeah. Calm yourself down, Kerry. There we go. Fantastic. Now take a look. You feel better. It looks better, doesn't it, Jamin? Yeah.
My girlfriend said to me, "Have you been having sex behind my back?" I said, "Who the fucking hell do you think it was?" And another thing, it wouldn't kill you to look round once in a while, check how I'm doing. Well, I'm Jimmy Carr, and we've got Alan Carr on the show later on. How about that? I keep on getting mistaken for Alan Carr, so what I've done is I've stopped sucking men off. Don't get the wrong idea. You know, I'm a very gay-friendly act. I was asked last year to judge Mr. Gay UK. I said, no problem at all. He's against nature and against God, and he's going to hell. Right, who have we got in the audience this evening? We've got Nikki Hamilton-Jones is in. Hello. I've seen your show. Yours is the one where you get ladies naked and then they cry. We've all been there. For me, that's a very successful Friday night out. Have we got James Morrison? Is James Morrison in the house? Where's he? Can't believe it. Hello, James. How are you? An amazing musician, especially if you find James Blunt a bit rocky. You Give Me Something's an amazing song. You Give Me Something is my favourite song ever about chlamydia. My favourite. I love it. Dean Macy's here. Where's Dean Macy? Dean Macy? You're our hope for Beijing, aren't you, in the decathlon? I love the decathlon. You know, it's where you do 10 different things, isn't it? Sort of jack of all trades, master of none. If you don't mind me saying. The 2012 Olympics is going to cost £8 billion, which is, you know, a lot of money. It's probably going to bankrupt London, but you can't put a price on 2 bronze medals in cycling. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, the highest speed ever achieved on a bicycle was done by a British man, 166 miles per hour on a bike. It was recorded at a level crossing. £8 billion is a lot of money. I mean, for that kind of money, we could have another 3 weeks in Iraq. I don't have a stalker, but I do have a woman that sends me pants in the post. Thanks, Mum. People ask me how I relax, so I tell them. I put Smarties tubes onto cats' legs to make them walk like a robot. If I'm really stressed, I make them go down the stairs. It's adorable, they look so confused. I realise some of you will be worried about the cat. Don't worry about the cat. If it's hurt, if it breaks its leg, it's already got a splint on. I should warn you, don't kick off this evening. I'm middle class, but I'm hard. Al dente, you might say. If you got the al dente reference, you're middle class too. Well done. I've got quite a posh voice, though. Would you agree with that, Hammersmith? It's quite a posh voice, but we've all got a phone voice. Mine's quite breathy. I quite like those phone sex lines. I like them because they're the only place in the world where premature ejaculation is an advantage. I once came in under 75 pence.
The problem is the builders, my dad's mate, he's a proper geezer, proper South East London geezer. One of those builders, that, you know that walk? Just walks like that. His legs like he's got a pool table between his legs. And he walks like that, and also he's got those really thin jogging bottoms. You know those like grey jogging bottoms that builders wear? I don't know where they get them from. They're so thin, and it just grabs onto anything that's there. It's just like I'm getting stared out by his knob and balls as he comes in. And sometimes it's weirder than him being naked. I don't know why. It feels more intrusive. He's like, hello, son, what we got here? I don't know. Everything's walking around like that. I reckon I could draw his knob and bollocks from memory better than mine. So he's coming like that, and I'm like, oh, God. I go, do you want a cup of tea? He goes, yeah, I'll have a cup of tea. I went, how many sugars? He went, 13. That's not a cup of tea anymore, it's a pudding. That's an angel delight of a tea bag, innit? 13 sugars, I'll make sticking it in. It's about £3 worth of sugar. He's only come around for a quote, it's already cost me. I put 14 in to test him. Give it him. He went, it's a bit sweet, isn't it? You winding me up, you know me on 13, you greedy bastard. Old type 2 Terry's come round and it's a bit sweet for him, is it? When are you going to do this job? I want it done before your foot comes off, all right? Anyway, I had a Kit Kat in the fridge, right? I thought, right, let's get him back on side of Kit Kat, right? He's into sugar. I like introducing people to new things, see if he wants a Kit Kat. 4-finger Kit Kat. Like, how would you eat a Kit Kat? 4 fingers? I've said that wrong, haven't I? I thought you looked at me funny. Sorry, I said that like it was your name. I meant to say... I don't know what I meant to say. I meant to how would you... how would you eat a four-finger Kit Kat? But I went, how would you eat a Kit Kat? 4 fingers. Oh, hello, 4 fingers, how's it going? Who needs thumbs, eh? Me to smoke by the looks of things. Sorry about that. Not an ideal nickname for a young lady, is it, really? So what would you do? 1 finger at a time? Is that what you'd... Should we start again? Should we start again? Sorry, what's your name? Anita. Nice to meet you, Anita. Sorry for calling you 4 fingers. Anyway, Anita, how do you eat a Kit Kat? That's what I was going for.
1 at a time.
1 at a time, right. 1 at a time's a normal approach to a fourth. Got it. Yes. Anyway, 1 at a time's a normal approach to a 4-finger Kit Kat, isn't it, right? I gave this builder a 4-finger Kit Kat. He picked it up, put the whole thing in his mouth at once. Bit into it like he was eating a bun. Dirty ogre sugar bitch. What kind of animal is one popping a 4-finger Kit Kat?
I was going to be a doctor, got as far as A-level biology, and we had to cut open a rat. Remember that? You had to cut open a rat, and I discovered I couldn't stand the sight of blood or anything vaguely biological. Just had to switch it up. I was like, Mum, I had to tell my mum the doctor thing wasn't going to work out, but it was all right. I said, I'm going to be an engineer. And my mum was like, engineer? It is on the list? Okay. And then she turns to my younger brother, you will be the doctor. And that's how it ran in my family. She wasn't impressed when I decided to become a comedian. That conversation didn't go very well because I was an engineer. I worked as an engineer for years. I used to work for Otis, repairing lifts. That's what I did. And my mum was proud. Yes, my daughter, she's an engineer. And then I left that and decided to become a comedian. My mum was not impressed. She's like, comedy, comedy. What the hell is comedy? I'm going to tell my friends in Nigeria, My daughter is a clown. But luckily for me, within 6 months of starting comedy, I got on this talent show called The Big, Big Talent Show, hosted by Jonathan Ross. Got on this show. So I called my mum. I was like, Mama, I got through to this big talent show. It's going to be on TV. I'm through to the quarterfinals. And my mum's like, oh, yeah, that's good. Very good. Interesting. Very good. Call me when you get to the final. I'm not interested in this quarterfinal, semi-final rubbish. Call me for the final. So sure enough, I got through to the final, filmed live on television, live. Jonathan Ross is hosting, and my mum comes down with her entourage, because my mum does not travel without a Nigerian entourage. So I do my set. Jonathan Ross is interviewing me after my set, and he sees my mum in the audience, which was not hard to spot. It was literally white people, white people, white people, and then a bank of African royalty just... So Jonathan points to my mum and he goes, is that your mum? That Gina's mum is in the audience. And I swear to God, my mum stood up like this. Yes, that is right. I am the reason the clown is here. I am the reason. I always knew she was going to be a clown. When she was 3, I bought her the big shoes. So my mum only comes out for the big shows. She only comes out for the big shows. And in fact, my mum is here tonight. Where's my mum? Where's my mum? Where's my mum over there? She's here. Where's my mum? Oh, look at her, standing up. Look at her, there she is. All right, you can sit down now, Mum. You can sit down now, Mum. This is my show, Mum. It's my show. It's my show.
Do you have a barrister here? Yeah, so we're close. Who you are? What's your name, champ? Mark. Mark, what do you do? Trainee solicitor. You're a trainee solicitor. Okay, so you don't get to appear in court, do you? No. Oh, man, that's the whole fun of it, though. That would be the gas part, just appearing, just doing the walk in front of the jury. Oh, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Now, that would be the real gas of it all. You don't get that, do you not? No. No. Oh. Here, let me find out your instincts, though. Maybe you made the right decision, right? When you get to the end of a jury, right? When you get to the end of a jury, you're walking along, no, and you get to the end, right? And the jury's here. Which way should you turn?
Back on yourself.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why you wouldn't have made a good barrister. Just that moment there, right? If you're ever in a court, right, and you're ever representing yourself, walking along and blah, 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 your instinct will be to go blah, 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 end of the thing, just go blah, 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 blah. Wrong. This is the way you do it. Blah, 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 blah. But I ask you, when you look into the face of my client there, ask yourself, is he not guilty? That's how you do it, right? Little bit of showbiz, take it for free, right? Anyway, this psychic, this nameless psychic was on recently, this is a completely true story, was on a couple of days before me in a theatre somewhere, right? And died roaring, couldn't do it, genuinely, and to the point that the audience turned. The audience were just looking at her going, you can't do this. You're actually bad at this, right? You can't. And they started taking the mickey. I started going, give me a name, give me a woman's name. Tracy, perfect, Tracy. Let's call her Tracy, right? Tracy. And the audience started going, Tracy, what about my mother? And Tracy would go, is she dead? And they go, no. And another voice went, Tracy, what about my sister? And one goes, is she dead? And we go, no. And eventually someone goes, Tracy, what about my father? And she goes, is he dead? And the voice goes, yeah. And he went, oh, Ace, no. Something is coming through. Something is coming through. And the voice goes, no, he's here. Sorry. They're glorious, they're fantastic, they're fabulous people. So we had to chat with Andy, we talked to James again, we talked to Julia there. The one person I really wanted to talk to was, well, actually, was a few, but Melissa from the property shows. Where's that? Hello, how are you? How's yourself? Good to have you here. You do the property shows on BBC Daytime, don't you?
I do.
You do? Yeah, well, you did. What are you going to do next year? Not so much in the property now, is that? That's a kind of a topical one there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just picking, you know? What are you going to do? A show called We're Staying Here? Or, actually, the schools aren't that bad. No, do you know what my favourite is? My absolute favourite? The best of all, right? Not grand designs, not location, with respect, not homes under the hammer. Property Ladder is the greatest property show in the world, right? For one simple reason, right? Property Ladder. You know the one I mean? Very good. Brilliant. Best, almost the greatest television show because uniquely, historically, it's the only television show ever that has an expert that nobody pays a blind bit of notice to. Every week, Sarah Beanie comes in and goes, Magnolia, and they go, no, we're painting it black. Every week, she's going, no, please, what are you doing there? We're digging a hole in the hallway to put a swimming pool in. What? She must be off camera every week doing, what am I even here? They don't even listen to a word I say. Every week I give advice and then they make a big profit and they think they're as good as me. Well, they're not. And she's in, she's out, she's in, she's out. It's a continuity disaster area. It really is, yeah? I'm not saying anything against her being pregnant, but it does kind of give away how long it takes these people to do a bit of basic plumbing, you know what I mean? In the time it's taken them to plaster the back bedroom that she's been in, she's had 4 kids in the time it's taken them to do that. Just stick her in a poncho in episode 1 and be done with it, right? Make her Mexican. She can do the accent. Come in on a donkey going, so you want to develop some property? Yeah. Perhaps you'd like to knock through the wall and make this into a separate bedroom? Yeah, that would rise you many, many pesos for you if you can possibly do that.
This is true, this. Does anyone know? I failed my test. Can anyone tell me what happens, right? If you're on your driving test and an animal ran out in front of the car, what are you supposed to do? Supposed to run it over. That's the right answer. If they say anything else is a danger to other road users. I'm on my test. Everything's going great. Suddenly, this goat ran out in front of the car. So I remembered what he said, and I kept driving. A few seconds later, I look in my rearview mirror. The goat is fine. I've missed him by millimetres. Now, obviously, I didn't want to fail my test. So I slapped it in reverse like that, I must have been chasing that little fucker through that field for 45 minutes before I ran over his head, and he still failed me. Where's the justice in that? You actually look a bit like my driving instructor, madam. With those fantastic specs and that hair. You've gone for the old Eric Morecambe meets Demi Moore look, haven't you? That's fantastic. Actually, lend me those glasses for a second. Just, you do. What's your name, madam? Lyndall. Where are you from? Mordor? Lyndall. My name is Lyndall. Are you searching for a ring? That's Australian. Oh, fantastic. I'm not going to take the mickey out of the Australians. You're the same as us, aren't you? Different pronunciations, you know. You say yogurt, we say yoghurt. You have prawns on the barbie, we have yoghurt. You use KY jelly. It's yoghurt, I'm not explaining them all. You say BYO, we say good guess. The question was, how do you spell boy? Arsenal. What do you do for a living? Are you a welder? It's true, actually. My driving instructor wore glasses. This is the other reason she failed me as well. We're driving down the road. She said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slap my hand on the dashboard. I want you to make an emergency stop as though a small child has stepped out in front of the car. Before he could put his belt on, or she, doesn't matter because I'm making it up, right? Before the person could put their belt on, right, I hit my brakes up, and he hit his head full on the window, like... I'll just show it off now. Oh, bad job! Hey! Hey! Then he turned around to me and said, why don't you wait till I slap my hand on the dashboard? I said, there's a child's life at stake here. I haven't got time to mess about with games, mate. Oh, sorry, you didn't see any of that, did you? No, sorry. You were just sat there, weren't you, going, what's he doing? What's that noise? Has he got a kind face?
That has done me the world of good. Thank you for that. Because I was waiting back there behind the big billboard, absolutely terrified. I'm not a natural performer. I'm not, although I have been doing this talk around the country for about 2 months now. I won't lie to you, it's not been going very well. I think the worst one was Folkestone. I have never seen an audience turn so quickly. Rushing at the stage, anger in their faces. Refund! Refund! It was horrific. I'll try and paint a picture for you. Youngsters will know what I'm talking about. Are there any youngsters in the... You can relax, sir. Well, oh, there's a youngster. What is your name, sir?
Riyadh.
What's that?
Riyadh.
Riyadh.
With
What?
a Z. Riyadh with a Z.
Riyadh with a Z. All right, it's not Sesame Street. Riaz, how old are you?
18.
18? Mm. Shouldn't you be wearing a hooded top? Get out of my shopping centre! Riaz. Don't laugh at Riaz, please. You'll know what I mean, Riaz, when I talk about stage diving. Are you familiar? You won't know what I'm talking about, sir, but this is when a rock star, like a Kurt Cobain or a Duncan from Blue, they run and they leap. And you're right to be afraid. You're right to be afraid. They leap onto the audience, Riaz. It's terrifying. The audience grab hold of them and manhandle them. Turning them around like that, all over the place. Terrifying. Now, what happened at Folkestone was almost a complete reversal of that. with people just rushing at the stage. It was appalling. But I don't think we're going to have a repeat of that tonight. I don't. Because I'm already getting a lot of warmth from you. I am. To quote the great Darius Danesh, there's a lot of love in the room. There is. And a wide range. We've got Riaz with a Z. No one can take that away from you, Riaz. I wouldn't try to. You'd whip out your hooded top and you'd happy slap me into submission. But it's a friendly crowd. We've got a proper... Look, here we go. Right down in the front, there's a chap here wearing a T-shirt with a slogan on it. Unbelievable. A grown man. What is your name, sir?
Chris.
Chris, with a Z? Riaz, you're one up. You're ahead. I'll bet there aren't many other people in the whole building who have a Z in their name, in all honesty. Unless Zebedee's joined us tonight, which I think is unlikely. So you're a Chris.
Yes.
Chris. And what's the idea with the T-shirt, Chris? Is it Rag Week?
People ask me all the time, so Rich, how did you end up becoming a comedian? And I always say, why do you say end up, like I made a mistake? It's kind of a polite conversation you have with a tramp. So, fella, how'd you end up in a skip? The most fantastic job in the world, right? You make people laugh, you, fella, with all that stress on your face. Look at you, sitting in the front row trying to get the jokes before anyone else. How desperate are you for comedy, my friend? Well, you people, Brits, but... Oh, I'm sorry, what? I wasn't expecting a response. Do you work?
I'm a student.
A student, all right. No more questions, Your Honor. It's very easy, no heavy lifting. Yeah? Why don't you think about being a comedian? What are you studying?
History.
History. That goes back a long time, doesn't it? Why don't you try American history? A couple hundred years. Boom, you're done. Listen, here's the thing, all right? You just say intelligent things stupidly. That's all there is to being a comedian. Or maybe it's stupid things intelligently. It's not rocket surgery. I'll tell you that right now. That's what I get asked all the time. So I bet you were the class clown. Were you the class clown? Screw you. Why would you suggest I took a childhood disorder and turned it into a career, you prick? No one ever says to a hooker, were you the class whore? I bet you were the class whore, weren't you? Let the mystery be. I love watching Brits snap. That is the greatest thing in the world. When a Brit snaps, you don't even know they've snapped. It's not like Americans who take out 8 or 9 people with a high-powered rifle because they're social animals. Brits snap and you go, 2 hours later thinking, I think that guy snapped while I was talking to him. At that point where he crushed the pint glass with his hand, he was a bit pissed off. That's why when it comes to a war on terror, something we invented, the war on terror, because Brits would never have a war on terrify, because what's not terrifying to Brits? Everything. They just don't show it, right? Brit, you've had giants plucking your daughters out of villages a couple thousand years ago. Look that one up, history boy. It's true. So the basic British reaction to anything terrifying is this. How much is this going to cost? You can't really terrify. That's why I'm pretty sure the war, the whole terrorism thing, I think the terrorists have just kind of given up on Britain, because what can they possibly do, right? Listen, I would never compare the scopes of tragedy of, say, the World Trade Center to the bombs that blew up in London, but the reaction is completely different, right? America still has this entire culture of fear about terrorism. It's basically manifests itself by terror alerts being scrolled across the bottom of the TV screen by color. No explanation whatsoever. Just today's terror alert is orange. Now back to our show. What the hell was that? What does that mean? Orange, that's hunting accidents, roadworks, right? That's not good. It means be very, very aware of terror. So dwell on it now and then. Whereas in Britain, they blow up the buses in London. Next day, people are back at the bus stop waiting for the bus, right? And complaining about it because they're Brits. Bus is late. I mean, it's late. The one yesterday blew up. Yeah, well, that was yesterday. Today's today. I live in the present and the bus is late. That's why when you watch a Brit snap, right, you got to get really close to them. They'll pick a high street and just corkscrew for a while. That's... Not even knowing what direction to... What direction is corkscrew anyway? This is bullshit. And then you get too close and then you get sucked into the vortex, right? Are you okay? That moment when a Brit truly snaps and it looks like this. I'm going to write a letter. That's it. I've been pushed to the brink, you bastard. Nobody treats me like this, you son of a bitch. Huh? I'm not emailing this, I'm writing this. Wait till you get that tomorrow. Big red pillar box right in the mail. Postal strike.
You know, when you're in love with somebody, you rarely see them at work. You rarely see them doing the thing that they do and you can't. It's extremely attractive. Go follow your partner someday to work. If they're having an affair, it'll be a hideous conclusion. But just watch them doing the thing. It's really cool, because you can't do it, they can. You go, I fucking look, you're fantastic, you're glorious. Particularly when they're saving a life. Jesus, you're there going, oh, you're beautiful, I love you, and you're making me look good right now. Yeah, she's my girlfriend, look at her, she's Gloria. She's saving her life, trophy bird, right? I had to be peeled off the doctor the day of the mini stroke. Seriously, she was underneath me going, that's very flattering, but could I deal with the situation first, right? And I was behind her going, no, she'll be unconscious for a while, yes. Apologise, she's actually in the room tonight. Sorry about that. But it is nothing more attractive than seeing the person. I mean, the doctor here, have you a partner there with you? Have you a boyfriend or husband with you?
Yeah, he's a teacher.
He's a teacher, so he's not in the medical trade. My teacher friend, isn't it sexy? Have you seen her ever deal with an emergency, have you?
Not yet.
Not yet, he said loudly. Get her to run over one of these feckers on the way home tonight. Dude, it's extremely attractive, but the one bad thing is you're very clannish people, the doctors. They have a tendency to hang around together in little groups, right? Okay. My teacher friend, do you have to go to loads of social events where it's just you and doctor? Does that happen to you, my friend? Does it?
I hate it.
Yeah, I know, it's a nightmare. I hate it, he said. I am articulating your pain, my friend. He hates it, ladies and gentlemen, because there's times I've been at dinner parties and it's doctor, and I'm the only feckin' muggles in the room, right? And they don't know half as much as you give them credit for. My friend, if you're ever at another dinner party and it's all doctors, feck with their heads. It's remarkably easy to do. If you're ever out with a load of doctors and they're going, well, today I performed a fucking you just go, yeah, but what are hiccups exactly? There's many competing theories at the moment. And then you go, why, if you stay in bed longer, do you feel more tired? It's not my speciality, that particular field. I would not know. Does time heal all wounds? Who the fuck invited you to this dinner party anyway? What are the oil of Olay 7 signs of aging? No one actually knows what the oil of Olay 7 signs of aging are, right? Apparently they start with little lines around the eyes and finish with a woman sitting on a stairs with a bottle of gin going, I gave him the best years of my life! And it takes a feckin' hell of a cream to get rid of that, let me tell you. Doctor, one final question. Doctor at the back there, my surgeon friend, liver and pancreas, answer me this. What are hiccups exactly?
Diaphragmatic irritation.
A diaphragmatic irritation. Good woman yourself. Very good. Let the punters at home note, she said, diaphragmatic irritation, which is right. I also would have accepted any arrhythmic irritation of the phrenic nerve. Please. I'm not a doctor. I'm just riding one. Okay.
They say it's hard, you know, bringing kids up is difficult. They say kids these days are influenced by these new hyper-violent computer games. And that's nuts, isn't it? If we'd been influenced by the computer games from our childhood, we'd have to go around going like, beep, beep, beep. Big rubbish, wouldn't it? No one would play with that kid with beep, beep. Can I be in your gang? No, you're a bit weird, mate, to be honest. Imagine being influenced by Pac-Man. You'd have to like walk round in a darkened room munching pills and listening to repetitive music. So the younger people laughing and clapping, the older ones going, who is this Pac-Man you speak of? It's not one of the rough boys from the estate, is he? There were some rough kids where I live, and they're not being rough, they're just being confusing. You know, you come out of your house, they go, yeah, your mum makes gravy for leopards, innit? Yes, I believe she does. She does a lot of charity work. These are scary kids. Even the dirty old men are scared of these kids. See them turn up in their car, put the window down, like, hello, little boy, do you want a sweet? The kid's like, what sort of sweets have you got? Said it best be good if you come on here and trouble me with your sweetie talk, right? You don't want none of your mojo or drumstick rubbish, you get me? You must have a serious sweetie offer for me, boy. Blokes panic. I was like, well, I've got bonbons. I wasn't sure what to bring, to be honest. Dib dab there, and a wham-bar. Wham-bar, your sweets are rubbish, man. Shut up. Nah. Wham-bars used to be big like that. Now they're small, innit? So you're going to have to do better than a wham-bar if you want to see my dick, right? Hey, nah, man, look at your car driving a Saab. You got no pride. Get out, you wham-bar, bitch. Next pervert, please. What kind of sweets have you got, Sweaty? What do you mean, Neverland? Yeah. But we live in exciting times anyway, you know. It's very exciting being in London, you know. The Olympics. Fantastic. We didn't really want the Olympics till we heard France might get it. The British people are like, oh no, all that running and jumping. It's not really for us, is it? When is it? No, I'm busy that week. What? France are gonna get it? Bollocks, we'll have it. Only in London would we have to have a poster campaign saying back the bid. No, fuck off, it'll be rubbish. Don't you think that's a bizarre response to that question? Like, would you like the oldest, most historically significant athletic competition the world has ever known, attracting athletes from every known nation on the face of the planet to come here and perform at the peak of their abilities in the very city where you live? Most British people go, where will we park? You know, because it's all residents round here. There's others going, no, man, the tubes will be packed, you get me? People getting on the underground with, like, javelins and shit. No. Coming in the escalator with a shot put, health and safety, boy. And there's a whole other section of British society going, you what? The Olympics? Let a load of foreigners in? Ones that can run and jump and swim, you let them in, you'll never fucking catch them. Huh? Place to be overrun with Lycra refugees. You're having a laugh, ain't you, mate? They'll peel them little numbers off their jackets. You watch them, they're sneaky. I read about it in the Mail.
I am what you call in show business a triple threat. I do comedy, and I do music, and I will cut you. Just joking, I probably won't. So it's so fantastic to be here today. I will be doing a little bit of music, so if you're a fan of NWA or Snoop Doggy Dogg, then I apologise. I'll be about 3 minutes. So this first song, this is about travelling on a train. Could you give me a cheer, Apollo, if you've ever been on a train before? About half. Okay, great. Lovely. Well, the half of you who cheered, that means you are my target demographic. Congratulations. So I'm going to sing this song. This is about the worst thing any of us can ever encounter on a train journey. Just before I sing it, I have had some problems at previous gigs, actually, so I just want to make something crystal clear. If you listen carefully, I'm not even saying the word Hindu. Just listen harder. Hindu on a train. Hindu on a train. Cowboy hats and penis cakes. Neck tattoos and big L plates. And voices like a foghorn in a drain. Hindu on a train. Groping every passing male. I suspect you've been to jail, and God willing, you might all go again. And although I have so many things to say to you, I'm aware that there are 6 of you, and all of you have had more fights than me. I've never glassed someone, but I do know how. Perhaps I'll glass you now. Hindu on a train. You brought your own speakers too, brilliant. To belt out Calvin Harris tunes. I mean, the maid of honor's clearly on cocaine. Hindu on a train. You see me staring and you threaten me. Then drunkenly you all set on me, and with a dick-shaped bottle take your aim. If you only knew, we're not so different, me and you. Just 3 months ago, my friends Hindu, we got drunk and we pretty much hijacked a plane. We were worse than you. We went down on all the crew. Reluctant gay men, some women too. We got thrown out of Spain. You see, we're all the same, but you're not listening, you're bashing out my brain. Hindu on a train.